Hey everyone, Chris Stoltz coming at you from Sesame Place, and I'm here today to check out their new classic character plush and see what other fun surprises we can find. All right, let's go inside and check it out. I may be mistaken, but I believe these standees of the characters are new this year. There's the Count, we have Elmo giving you the thumbs up, Rosita playing guitar, and here we have Oscar and Zoe waving to you. There's also a Cookie Monster stand-up, as well as standees of Abby Cadabby and Julia. Cookie Monster, Elmo, Abby, and the Sesame Street sign. And of course, there's Bert and Ernie. Unfortunately, this sunny day has turned into a rainy day. The clouds are not sweeping away. They are all here and it's raining. But we're gonna check out the inside of Mr. Hooper's gift shop. It used to be called Mr. Hooper's Emporium, but they've changed the name. So let's see if everything inside is still the same. New this year are these Squishmallows. They have Super Grover, Snuffy, and Telly. These are really cool. Ooh, I kind of want a Snuffy Squishmallow. That is really neat. I mean, who wouldn't want to sleep next to that? I mean, that's, you gotta love Snuffy. They also have these cool pajamas or sweatpants or whatever these are. Child's pants. They're kind of like sweatpants, yoga pants. They got all kinds of characters there. This is cool. The Oscar the Grouch one. Got Ernie, Grover, Abby, and Elmo on this one. And they got, Cookie Monster and a whole bunch of cookies. There's the Count, Elmo, Cookie Monster, Rosita all over that one. This one, this is more just cookies again. And we have some plush over here. We got Super Grover, Ernie, Bert, and Ernie and Bert. And a selection of t-shirts at the top. This is really neat. Oh, nom nom, cookies. Speaking of which, here they are right in the other part of the store. They have this whole other grocery area, and there are the cookies. They have actual cookies. They got animal crackers, all kinds of good stuff over here. Even fruit. I mean, because, you gotta have that too. That's a healthy food. Cookie Monster eat those as well.
Healthy food, boy, it tastes so good. We want healthy dude, 'cause we eat healthy food. We love it.
Also new this year are these large PVC figures. You got Oscar the Grouch, Big Bird, Abby, Cookie Monster, and Elmo. These are really neat, and their heads kind of turn. Some of them have other features, like Cookie Monster's arms turn as well. I think Abby, just her head turns. Oscar has no movement at all, which is kind of odd, but nice to see new Sesame Street figures this nicely done. Here they have all these Sesame Place pins. A lot of these are leftovers from past years, but there are a lot of cool new ones. Look at this baby bear calendar one. They have Snuffy, Slimy, Oscar, Little Bird, a whole bunch of really cool classic characters and classic illustrations on those. That's really cool. There's some mystery pins. Those are really neat. As well as these are the classic character limited edition pins. We have the Martians. There's Guy Smiley, the Amazing Mumford, and Sherlock Hemlock. He is my guess for the next one. I said that last year, and it was Guy Smiley, but using the classic character pins as a reference, I think we're close to a Sherlock Hemlock pin. I really do. So that's my guess. I'm putting some money on it. Prove me wrong next year. Of course, it'll probably be the Amazing Mumford, but we'll see. Of course, they have the regular characters here too. We have, Zoe, Prairie Dawn, Julius, Super Grover, Gonger, that's a really cool Gonger, and even Telly, very, very cool. Nice to see that the Yip Yip Martians getting another shout out. We don't see them as much as we should. Also, of course, there's some different holidays like Valentine's Day. This is an interesting Sesame Street, like vintage kind of gay pride kind of thing going on there. I like that one as well. All the different lands here are of course represented, and the parades. Elmo the musical even gets its own pin, and of course Cookie Monster's land. We have a whole bunch of pins. These are like safety pins featuring different characters. Of course, here's the Easter egg character pins. We have even Oscar is begrudgingly dressed as a Easter bunny. That's interesting. And of course, when you vote this year, vote for either Elmo or Cookie Monster. Those are your choices, apparently. They have a bunch of new shirts this year. I was kind of hoping to be like, oh, look at my shirt. I wonder where I got this shirt from. But they don't even have this shirt up here anymore. After a few years, they don't even have this. That's kind of neat. All new shirts. And two, count them, two, featuring the Count. I was raised on this street. The gang is all here. Sesame Street, the best address in New York. Everything I learned on Sesame. You can count on me. Oh, I guess it says Cookie. I'm not quite sure. Can something with Oscar. Oh, free shrug instead of free hugs. Oh, I get it. There's a couple other really cool Sesame Street logo shirts. In the Cookie Monster section, let's see Ganga represented, as well as this Cookie Monster in a cookie jar plush, and a Cookie Monster that turns into a cookie, or a cookie that turns into Cookie Monster plush. That's different. I guess you can get them at SeaWorld and Busch Gardens and the other Sesame Place locations, but Cookie Monster that turns into a cookie. Very cool. They even have a t-shirt of Cookie Monster getting beamed into a cookie-shaped UFO. I actually checked online before I came here, and the other characters besides Telly and Snuffleupagus are sold out online. So that means if you want a Oscar or a Cookie Monster Squishmallow, you better come to the park itself, because these are already sold out online. I'm really digging all these Sesame Street kitchenware. We have a bunch of different bowls and plates featuring all the different characters. Look at all these cool character mugs. We have Big Bird, Oscar, and Cookie Monster on these. Those are plastic. And then we have ceramic mugs as well. I like how Oscar and Cookie Monster have like these different kind of handles. That's neat. You got Slimy with Oscar, you get Cookies with Cookie Monster, and you get like Abby's wand on hers. That is really neat to see. I love the extra detail. And on Elmo's, it's just Elmo's kind of furry arm or something, but you know, the rest of them, very, very cool, very creative. Here's an interesting Snuffleupagus mug. It's like he's a mobile or something. He's all attached with string, and he's like flat. He's like a drawing of Snuffy that's come to life, and his tail makes the handle. That is really neat too. I had never seen that before, so that must be new this year as well. If you're looking for Christmas presents for the Sesame Street fan in your life, the park has some really cool Season's Greetings from Sesame Street Christmas merchandise left over. They have these Elmo and Oscar and Cookie Monster coffee mugs. These are really neat. The handles are the top of the hats. That is really cool to see. They even have a very furry Christmas Sesame Place Stein mug. That is really neat. And then right over here we have some ornaments and other sweatshirts that say Merry and Bright with the characters as nutcrackers. Here we have the characters decorating a Christmas tree on the street. We have a very furry Christmas shirt where the characters are all on their way to go skiing or snowboarding. This one just says Merry Christmas. I'm not sure what that's about. And we also have some stockings down here as well. Here we have some really neat ornaments. They're flat, but they have a 2D picture on the inside of them, and on the outside of the plastic, there's like another piece of illustration, so it creates a 3D element. Here we have the parody shirts. We have an Oscar in the vein of an anime or Japanese type character. We have this really cool Count shirt, and then we have the Count counting things, based on Stranger Things. And we have another Stranger Things parody. Here is Oscar with Rotten Things. So we have a Rotten Things and Counting Things Stranger Things parody shirts. I'm assuming for the adults, because I don't think the kids quite get that, but that's what Sesame Street does. Things for everybody. And here we have the classic Sesame Place logo for us vintage Sesame Place fans. It's actually a long sleeve t-shirt. We have some neat picture holders. We have Sesame Street established 1969, as well as some office supply stuff. We have Elmo Loves You, That's So Magical, Best Friend, which is another picture holder. Make Today, Count, and Scram, which you can use as, I guess, little blocks around your desk or something. They don't really do anything else. And it looks like they've expanded their PVC character selections this year. Now they have Ernie, Bert, the Count, Rosita, Grover, Julia, and even Gonger. So apparently the trick here is you can get one of these buses and you can fill it with figures for $35 or buy one figure for $12. So, may get a whole bus and get 5 figures. I'm debating, but Gonger is definitely one of them, and I wonder who my other 4 are going to be. Here is the new 2022 t-shirt. It's a really cool stylized version of the characters. We even have Elmo and Tango included. They also have that as an ornament as well. Here are some really interesting stylized Oscar and the cast backpacks by Loungefly. So Oscar in his can with Slimy. There's an Oscar wallet. Neat to see these in the park here. They have a few more of these. I guess we're gonna call them office supplies for your desk. Here's Big Bird, I'm Happy to Be Me. There's Cookie, Elmo, and Abby by the sign. Nom, 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 nom. And Me Love Cookies. So if you're looking for office decorations or kids' room decorations, they have these cool blocks. But of course, what we came here for is the plush, and a specific plush indeed. None of these plush. We're looking for the classic character plush, which is right over here. Yes, it's everyone's favorite game show host, Guy Smiley. Look at him right there. This is odd. This year they don't have a classic character tag on them, but wow, it's Guy Smiley. How can you resist everyone's favorite game show host, Guy Smiley? Most of these plush they've had in the past, though I'm not sure if they had a Rudy the last time I was here. So Rudy may be a newer addition to the plush line, but they have a bunch of Rudy plush. So Rudy fans out there, you have a plush now for your man Rudy. Over here we have some smaller plush. We have Grover, Bert, Ernie, Zoe, some honkers, Elmo reading a book, Gonger, and even a small version of Julia. In the checkout area, they have the past classic character plush. Here's the Tweedlebug from, I think that was last year or 2 years ago, I believe. On the other side, they also have more of the two-headed monster plush. That's the remake from a few years ago. They ran out of them when they first came out. They re-released them in 2020, and now they're still here. That is really cool. You do not see these often. These are really hard to find. These are pretty popular characters. I'm surprised they are still here. But hey, if you're looking for a two-headed monster plush, they still have them here at the park. Of course, while you're checking out, they always have these impulse buy items, and this is really neat. It's a small Oscar and Slimy kids purse. That's really neat. I am not picking this up, but if anyone's looking for a small Oscar kids purse, you get Slimy too. And that is just a small selection of the merchandise you will find here at Hooper's Gift Shop, formerly Hooper's Emporium. This is only one gift shop they have here at the park. So let's see what else they have. Here we have the new street scene they put in a few years ago. Very cool to see. They have, of course, all the classic places. The bike shop, the laundromat, Hooper's store, Big Bird's Nest, and of course, 1, 2, 3 Sesame. It just rained, so no one's out yet. So it's nice to see the street cleaned away of everybody. People, dirt, everything. It's really nice to see. So you have a nice clean shot of the entire street here. The other major gift shop they have here at the park is Sesame Souvenirs. It's a little bit smaller than Hooper's Gift Shop, formerly Hooper's Emporium, but let's see what's inside. Most of the gift shops here all carry the same stuff. Of course, if they have it at Hooper's, you'll probably see it in other places. That is the main gift shop. So anything that's there is probably here as well. But the selection is much smaller, as you can see. But they do have many different versions of the Sesame Place 2022 t-shirt. They have more color variations than were available at the other store. They have them in purple, blue, pink. They also have water bottles, and they even have this Elmo and Tango plush, which I did not see in the other store. But of course, the main attraction this year is, of course, everyone's favorite game show host, Guy Smiley. All right, so that is gonna do it for this trip to Sesame Place. I picked up a few items, and I will show you what they are when we get back to the MuppetStuff Museum. And now, as the clouds are officially swept away, we take you now to the Muppet Stuff Museum. But before we do that, let's check out the 2nd Avenue thrift store and see if we can find any vintage Muppet stuff. Okay, so obviously now I am back here at the Muppet Stuff Museum, and let me show you what I picked up. So you saw me checking out those Sesame Street PVC figures, and wow, those are really cool. They are a little bit larger than the previously released versions of those characters, but they're also like twice the price. But they do have a deal where if you buy 5 of them, you get a school bus carrying case for basically half the price of just buying like a couple of them. So here we have the school bus carrying case, and I'll give you a hint of the figures I picked up. They are so far fairly underrepresented in the collection. But first, I should tell you about the school bus carrying case. It features Big Bird driving the bus with Abby, the Count, Grover, Bert and Ernie, Elmo, and Cookie Monster riding in the back, while the back has the Sesame Street logo with the copyright on the bottom. Okay, so you open it up with this little clip here, and let's see what we got. So first up, we have Rosita. Rosita is a character that is very underrepresented in this collection. I think this might even be the 1st or 2nd ever Rosita in the Muppet Stuff collection. I know that's a travesty, but here she is. Sadly, this is the somewhat newer version of Rosita without her wings. I heard that they actually brought her wings back, so this is like the mid-Rosita. This is Rosita 2.0, and they went back to 1.0 recently, but here we have Rosita sans wings. This is cool because this is, I think, one of the first Rositas in the collection, like I said, so very cool to get Rosita finally here. Another not so new but fairly underrepresented character is Abby Cadabby. Yes, I mean, gotta say, I'm an adult man. I'm not a big fan of Abby Cadabby. She's okay as a character, but obviously it's not geared towards me. But there's not a whole lot of Abby Cadabby here. So it's nice to actually have some Abby Cadabby in the museum now. So here, this is the Abby Cadabby PVC. Her wings are really cool in the back. It's a very nice likeness. I like her shoes. She got all these cool sneakers on. Very cool. I kind of wish she had her wand, but otherwise, pretty cool. Another new character they offered as a PVC figure was Julia. And you don't see a lot of Julia stuff because she's a fairly new character, and it's nice to see new characters getting some merch love. So here we have a PVC of Julia. Again, she's just kind of there. There's no articulation. It's just a PVC, but it's a very nice likeness of Julia. Next up is a classic character that, for some reason or other, isn't that well represented. I don't know why, but it is everyone's favorite lovable monster, Grover. And I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure why I don't have much more Grover stuff, but anyway, I saw this Grover, had to pick him up. Look at this cool Grover. He's waving. He's very happy to see you. He's got a cool sculpt. He looks really neat, very nicely done. So had to pick up a Grover to, round out the collection. I am sorry I don't have more Grover, but I'm working to correct it. I also picked up another new character that I was surprised to see as a PVC. It is Gonger. Yes, Chef Gonger here with his little chef hat and apron. It ties around his waist. Obviously, it's just all plastic. It's all together. It's not a cloth version, but very cool nonetheless. We love to see Gonger stuff. You don't see him on a whole lot these days, but wow, very cool that they made a Gonger PVC. As far as I know, he's exclusive to Sesame Place, so I was very happy to pick him up. That was going to be all the PVCs I picked up, but I texted my friend Erin, who is a big Bert and Ernie collector, and she wanted the Bert and Ernie PVCs. So I picked up a Bert and an Ernie for her. And when I got to the cash register, it was going to be something like $25 for these two. And I said, you know what? For $25, all right, maybe I'll pick up a Bert and Ernie for myself. All of a sudden, that is $50. $50 for 2 Berts and 2 Ernies. Well, for $35, I got another Gonger, which I think I'm going to take back because I found out that my friend that I was buying this for already had. So I'm going to probably take this back to Sesame Place and see if I can exchange it for another different character. Who knows? Find out who that is in another video. But for $35, I got Gonger, 2 Berts and 2 Ernies, and another school bus. So let's do some math. 1 Bert and Ernie set plus 1 Bert and Ernie set equals $50. But 1 Bert and Ernie set plus another Bert and Ernie set plus Gonger plus a bus equals $35. If you say so, Sesame Place. I mentioned that the new figures are slightly larger than their previous PVC counterparts. So here we have the new Grover, and here we have the old Super Grover. Now, you can see that this is much larger. And I still have the tag on my original Super Grover, so you can see that it cost $6, $5.99. Yes, it was a few years ago, but $5.99, and these are $11.99. So double the price. It is double the size, I guess, but wow, that is a big difference. I'm glad you have a deal where you can get a school bus and 5 characters for way less than buying them individually, because wow, that could get real expensive to collect the whole set. So I guess being double the price kind of makes sense, but $12 for a PVC figure is kind of pricey. But of course, the entire reason for my trip to Sesame Place was to pick up this Guy Smiley plush figure. This is such a cool figure. The jacket is kind of velvety. That's nicely done. It comes with his microphone. He even has a tie and an undershirt. I was still disappointed though that he doesn't have the classic character tag like the other previous figures in the line. Just kind of a bland, generic Sesame Street tag. I don't understand why that is. He's part of the classic character line, so why not emphasize that, unless they're trying to get away from the classic character line, just introduce a new classic character every year and then have them just kind of blended into the regular plush offerings they have. That could very well be. But check out his shoes. It has little heels to them. Even have like fake laces. He's got his khaki pants on. It's really well done. Maybe not as cool as the two-headed monster or some of the other plush they've done, but Guy Smiley is seriously underrepresented in merch. So I'm really glad to see Guy Smiley finally getting some love in Sesame Place's classic character plush line. And one more thing, yes, after Sesame Place, I went across the street to the 2nd Avenue thrift store to see if I could find any vintage Muppet stuff, and I did find one item. This copy of the Muppet Babies book, Baby Piggy's Mermaid Tale. I pretty much have the entire set of these except this book, and I just happened to find it just sitting there on the shelf. It is in great condition. It's not written in. There's not a kid's name written in it, because that happens more than you would think. You turn to this page and it says, who did this book belong to? And yes, usually some parent has written their child's name in it, just completely ruining the value of the book. But this one doesn't have that. So I am really glad I made the trip to Sesame Place, because I not only found some cool classic vintage Muppet Babies, Guy Smiley, and a bunch of great PVC figures as well. So that's going to do it for this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Please be sure to follow us on all our social media channels. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite item from this video was. And we'll see you next time from the MuppetStuff Museum. While the back has the Sesame Street logo emboldened, emblazed, enraised, it's something on the back.